Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial on my arrangement of Stand By Me by Benny King. So this arrangement is not in standard tuning, so the string that is normally tuned to an E is tuned down to a C, and the string that is normally tuned to an A is tuned down to a G. All the remaining strings are in standard tuning. Alright, before we get started with the individual sections of the tutorial, I want to give you a few technical tips on how to play it. So one technical tip is that I always play the bass notes with a muted sound. And to achieve that, you need to place the palm of your hand relatively near to the bridge. And when you now then play with a thumb pick a bass note, it will be dampened as opposed to when you lift your palm, it will sound more open. And you need to place the palm of your hand in a way that it covers only the bass strings, or only the strings that you want to play as a bass line, and that the other strings here that you play with your fingers are still open. Alright, so you can experiment with your hand position for that. The other technical note is that I play always on the second beat, almost always in this arrangement, a click with my thumb pick, and achieve this clicking sound by hitting the string with the thumb pick. And just as a tip, I slightly angle the thumb pick, so I don't go straight like this. My thumb pick is slightly angled upwards, so I have a better surface for the thumb pick to hit the strings like this. And try to make the sound audible, but not too loud. It should not dominate the sound of your arrangement. So by always hitting very hard the strings. So it's just to give a slight backbeat, like from a drum set, so like the snare sound. But yeah, as I said, not very loud, just very subtle. All right. What will now happen? I will play. For each section, it's slowly first, and I will break it down note by note. And if you have any questions when you go through a section, just write a comment below, and I will try my best to answer them. All right, have fun learning this arrangement. All right, we're now coming to the intro section. I will play it slowly first, and then we will break it down note by note. So here we go. Alright, that was the intro section. So what's very important about the intro is that we play always the same rhythmical figure. So it's 1/4 note, then we make a click, and on the off beat of that second beat where we make the click, we immediately play another bass note. Then the third beat is always empty. And then on the fourth beat, we either play 2 8 notes or only 1 8 note. And that's the basic rhythm for the intro section. So for example, in this first bar, I was playing 1 note on the first beat, the click, followed by a bass note, and then 2 8 notes on the fourth beat. So what I exactly play there is 2 times the G. So the note that's normally tuned to an A now is tuned to G, as I just said before. You play that 2 times, and then the 2 8 notes are the 2nd fret of your lowest string, and then a hammer on to the 6th fret of your lowest string. So like this. And followed by these 2 8 notes, you play again the G, followed by a bass note. Alright, now on the fourth beat something different happens. So instead of playing this, you now play another G, followed by the 6th fret here on your lowest string, which is now an F sharp. And I play it the G with a downstroke, and the F sharp here with an upstroke. So may take some time for you to get used to playing down and up strokes with your thumb pick. But I can recommend it. It makes it very economical how you play. So yeah, just give it a try. And then I play the 4th fret on your low string on the first beat of the next bar. So the 2 8 notes, which were this one before, are now this. And then your first note of the next bar is this. Then you click, and then you will play that note again. So let me play that second bar again. Right? Then on the 4th beat, you just play only 1/4 note, which is now here your 2nd fret, so which is now a D note. And then on the first beat of the next bar, you again play the 4th fret here. So you have, and you repeat the same rhythmic figure you just had before. So like this. Then again, on the 4th beat, we have again 2 8 notes, which are now the 4th fret here and the 2nd fret. And I again play them with a downstroke, an upstroke on the off beat. And followed by that, you play the open C. So you have you repeat that, so you, as I just did. Then you make a play the open C and a hammer on the 4th fret here, followed by the 2nd fret. So you have, and you repeat that note like this. Then what you have is the same 2 8 notes you had in the first bar. So, and then you go back to the open G. So, and you repeat that. All right, that's the whole intro section. Now what happens on the 4th beat of this last time you play this are already the 2 first melody notes, which we will cover in the next section. Right, we're coming now to the verse section. I will play it slowly first, and then we'll break it down note by note. Alright, that was the verse section. So the first 2 melody notes are the open B string and the D here. And you play, these are 2 8 notes, and you play the first one open, and then you hammer on the second one. And with the first B note, you play the 2nd fret of your lowest string together. So like this. And then you make the hammer on. Followed by that, you play the open G here, followed by an open E, like this. Then you make a click, followed by an open G. Alright, then you play the same 2 melody notes again with the same bass note. What I only add now is the open G played with the first B. Like this, just to add some variation. Then after you played that, you play the open G, a click, and then another open G. So what you have so far is, right? Then you make the same move on the bass strings that you've done in the intro. So as a matter of fact, most of the bass line in the verse section will be very similar to the one that you just played in the intro. There are only like tiny variations from it. So you again play the open G with an upstroke, the 6th fret, and then with a downstroke, the 4th fret. So after you played, you make this move. So now you're right here. So now there's a bit of a tricky bit. So after you played the 4th fret with a downstroke, you make a click, and at the same time you try to hit a string with your index finger. Like this, and I try to hit the G string. So, and if you slightly mess it up or hit the D together with it, it doesn't matter. So if you play those two, it's still fine. Alright, so you, followed by this click and the single note, you play the 4th fret together with the 2nd fret here on your G string. So then on the 3rd beat, which has been so far completely empty for each measure, you play the open B note, followed by the 2nd fret here on your lower string and the 2nd fret here on your G string. So the whole measure is right. Then on the next bar, you play the 4th fret on your lower string together with the open G. So, and followed by that, you make a click and play the 4th fret again. Then you play the 4th fret with the open G. And I do it the following thing. So you play those 2 notes, and then I go up with my thumb over the neck, fret the 2nd fret here on your low string, and here I play the 2nd fret of the G string. So right, so the whole bar is. And on the next bar, I will play the open lowest note here, so the C, followed by the B and the G. So what you have, right? Then, as I just did, you play the C after a click. Then you play the C together with the B. You make a hammer on the D right here. So then you play again the 2nd fret and the 2nd fret on your G string. So you have play those 2 together, make a click, then you lift your middle finger, play the 2nd fret of your lowest string here and the open G, and then you make a hammer on the 2nd fret. So, and then you play the 2nd fret and the 2nd fret here together again. So, and followed by that, you play 2 open notes, so the G, the D, and another G here, like this. So let me play that again from where you made the open C and the D, so like this. Okay. Then after you played those 3 open notes, you play another G, followed by this hammer-on move you did in the intro, and then followed by 2 G notes. So this is exactly the same as in the intro. And that completes the first part of the verse section. What we now will cover is another verse section with a few slight variations from what you just learned. But for now, just practice this part and then come back to the video once you have that down, and then we will discuss the next verse section. Right, welcome back to the second verse section. I will play it slowly first and then we'll break it down note by note. Alright, that's the second verse section. As you can hear, it's very similar to the first one, but there are a few variations added to it. So Okay, the start is very similar. So again, an open B together with the second fret, and then a hammer onto the D note. And before you played an open A, open G, sorry, it's tuned down, with an E. And the only thing I added now is another G note here, so the open. And I do a little roll like this. Right? Then you make a click, and then you play the open G again. Then, now it's different, you play on the off beat, on the third beat, an open B, so. And then you play with your ring finger the third fret here, so the D note, together with the second fret here, followed by an open E. So what you have is, right? Then you play the open G, make a click, and now we're coming to this hammer on and pull off section. So you play out right after the click another G, together with the D note here, and you make a pull off, so, and another pull off. So it's two pull offs, one after another. So you pull off from the D to the C, and then a pull off from the C to the B. Then, so these are all 8 notes, just following right after the second beat. So this one is on the off beat, and this lands on the third beat, and this lands on the off beat of the third beat. Now, the next pull off is like this. So after you have, and that's a quicker pull off. So you have two 16th notes here, followed by one 8th note, and you pull off from the second fret of your G string and play together the G here, and then you make a hammer on the second fret of your G string. So let me play the whole measure. Right? Then on the first beat of the next measure, you play with your ring finger the fourth fret of your lowest string, together with the B note here. Make a click, and then play the fourth fret again. Then on the off beat of the third beat, you play an open B note. Then you play again with the thumb the second fret of your lowest string here, and with the index finger the second fret of the G string. So what you have is, and what I play now here in the last beat that I played was the fourth fret here of your lowest string together with the open G. So again. Right? Then you click, and then you play again the fourth fret here. So then on the fourth beat you have two 8 notes again. So what you have is the fourth fret here together with the G. Then your two, so with the thumb again, the second fret of your lowest string, and then with your index, the second fret of the G string. And then you play the open C, the open B, and the open G. And this part is the same as in the verse section before. So, all right. Now you play again the same thing as you played before. So you make so in the verse section before. So you play the open C together with the B. You hammer to the D. Then what comes next is the second fret here of your lowest string. The middle finger of your is placed on the second fret of the G string. You play them together, and you make that move again. So click, you lift your middle finger, play the open G together with the second fret here. You hammer on the third beat, and then on the fourth beat you play these two notes together. So that measure you had before in the first verse section. And now you end it by playing either now again 3 open notes as you did before, or just 2 open notes, up to you. So either the 2 Gs, or you can also add the D note here in between. Alright, and that completes the second verse section. So it's very similar to the first one, but there are a few slight variations. Alright, yeah, practice that, and then we come back to the video for the chorus section where we do next. Alright, welcome back. We're now in the chorus section. I will play it slowly first, and then we will break it down note by note. Alright, that's the chorus section. So it starts again on the 4th beat of the measure before. So you ended your verse section with these open notes. Then on the 4th beat, after that, you play the first notes of the chorus section. And the first note is the 2nd fret of your lowest string. And then followed by the 3rd fret of your B string. So you play them as 2 8 notes. Then you have the open G followed by the together with the open E. Then you play the on the 2nd beat the D, so followed by the open G on the off beat of the 2nd beat. So then with your pinky you play the 3rd fret of your E string. So and after you played your pinky on the 3rd fret here, you with your middle finger you play the 2nd fret here of the E string, and with your index finger the 2nd fret of the low C string. So you have right. Then you play again the open G and the open E. Then you play the D. So this happens on the 1st beat of the next bar. Those 2 8 notes. And then you make a slide to the E. And once you reach the E, you make a click. So and it can be a bit of a tricky movement, but yeah, practice it slowly and it will become more natural. And once you make the click, you play the open G. So what you have so far is right, and then on the 4th beat, you play this chord. So you use the 2nd fret here on your lowest string, the open G, the D, and the open E. So you play the open E after you played those first 3 notes, like this. So you have. Then you play the G. So G, click, G. Then you make that move from the bass line that you already know from the verse and the intro section. And then once you make a click, you play this bass note again, followed by an open B note and an open G note. So like this. So you play those 2 notes open, and then you play with your thumb the 2nd fret of the lowest string, and then here the 2nd fret on the G string. So let me play that measure again. And once you're here, you play the 4th fret of your lowest string together with the open G. Right? Then you play a click and then this 4th fret again. Then on the 4th beat again of that measure, you play the 2nd fret on your lowest string together with an open B and an open G. So then you play the open C together with the 2nd fret of your G string, and you make a pull off. So, and again a click followed by a C note. Then this move you already know from the intro section. So you play the open C, make a hammer on to the 4th fret here, right? And then you play the 2nd fret here, and then on the, let me just repeat that, right? Then you play the 2nd beat, on the 2nd beat an open B note, followed by the 2nd fret here and the 2nd fret on the G string. Yeah. And then you make a pull off from the 2nd fret of the G string. So, and that open note from the pull off lands on the off beat of the 3rd beat. So you play, and on the 4th beat you play again this move where you hammer on from the 2nd fret to the 6th thread of your lowest string of the C string. And then you play again an open G note. So this measure was then once you're here with the open G note, you play on the 2nd beat an open B, and then you play the G, the D, and the 2nd fret of the G string on the off beat of the 2nd beat, and then make a pull off from that 2nd fret again, which lands again on the off beat of the 3rd beat. And just as the measure before, you do this hammer on move right after that. So let me play that again. And once you play this, you go back to a G and you play another G after you clicked. And that completes the chorus section. So what you now can do is go back to the verse section. So you have, and now on the 4th beat you can again play the first 2 notes of your verse section and just repeat everything that we just covered. In my cover, when I play it, I immediately go to the 2nd verse section. So I kind of like it more to play not everything again, but only the 2nd verse section, and then play the chorus again. And then I'm again here at this part. And then to end the arrangement, I repeat this bass figure here. So, and now instead of playing again this bass figure, I do 2 harmonics. So I play the 5th fret harmonic of the D string and the 5th fret harmonic of the G string. And yeah, my fingers are relatively near the bridge, so you can experiment where they sound best. and I just play those harmonics as the two ending notes of my arrangement. And yeah, that's it. I hope this tutorial was helpful. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching.